Moon gang. Hello. Let's get rocking today. It's the first day of December, folks. We are rocking. Don't forget your green tea, your coffee. Thick Kohrs. I like it. Matte thick Kohrs. Folks, we are getting after it today. We are getting after it. Honestly, could be shaping up for a pretty nice day. Things are starting to bounce. Crypto is bouncing, stocks are bouncing, and a lot of this, as you're about to see, does relate to, I guess, fears of the unicorn variant right now kind of calming down a bit, which is obviously very, very nice. And beyond that, we do have some other things to discuss. We're going to be talking about the overall market, the seasonal pattern that we're in. We're going to be talking about the unicorn variant. We have some payroll stuff. We have some crypto updates. And we also have some interesting news, I suppose, related to Fidelity. If you've been on Twitter this morning, if you were on Reddit yesterday, there's a good chance you're seeing this Fidelity story. And if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry. We will be talking about some definitely interesting stuff with Fidelity. So to start today off, green. The futures market, for Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ, oil. Oil's actually kind of low, which is nice. Finally getting a little bit of breather in the gasoline sector. Yields are up. So green across the board. Here are the top things you need to know about today. Dow set to bounce on first day of December after big drop on unicorn fears. So let's look at the overall market. Yesterday, the S&P 500 was red. It opened at 462, went all the way down to 455. But right now, we're actually opening up at 462. So similar to yesterday. And two main things going on here. The first thing is, yes, the unicorn variant. People are kind of worried. The stock market doesn't like unknown things. They don't know how bad it's going to be. When there's an unknown thing, the market typically does not react in a favorable manner. So with that, we are getting some, I guess, at least useful updates right here. South African doctor says patients with unicorn variant have very mild symptoms. And in fact, because of this, there are not really any severe cases reported as of now. So knock on wood, let's hope that it stays that way. It is very initial data, and everything I've been reading, it takes about 2 weeks at minimum to get like solid data that's statistically backed. But right now, at least the initial inkling of data is more so of not severe. So that's good. That is very, very good. But also along those lines, U.S. tightens travel rules as more countries secure borders to quell the unicorn. So right here, it's getting a little bit more, I guess, tense for international travel. The biggest thing I'm reading is that you have to get tests like the day before, as in a unicorn test, to see if you are indeed a unicorn, yes or no. And if you are, you're not going to be able to travel. If you aren't, they're going to allow you on the plane. The second aspect of all of that is commentary related to Jerome Powell, the federal chair, and then also Janet Yellen. They were speaking in front of the Senate yesterday. So with that, it was kind of interesting. There's some important commentary right here. This is from Jerome Powell. The economy is very strong and inflationary pressures are high. So he's saying the economy is good, worried about inflation. And throughout the commentary, there were many, I guess, comments made by the both of them, but it seems like their main concern as of now is definitely what's going on with inflation. It sounds like they're being a little bit more hawkish rather than, I guess, fear-mongering the unicorn variant. Their statement on the unicorn variant is no matter what's going on, it's not going to be as severe as what we saw in the spring of 2021. The spring of 2020. So that's good news. I guess that the data that they have and what they feel is going on with the economy, that they care more about inflation. So it sounds like they're kind of going from that gradient of being dovish to a little bit more hawkish. And right now that's good, because between spring of 2020 and inflation and bottleneck issues, there's a whole host of issues that people are battling right now. And I feel like that's where our economy is kind of being disconnected in reality from what the stock market is saying. Not too long ago, we were hitting all-time highs. Everything was green. But I think our economy is telling a little bit of a different story. So as of now, obviously, this is developing day over day of where our elected officials and regulators seem to care. Like, about the most, like I guess what subset of the problems we're facing as a world, as a country, developing every single day, every single hour. But right now, this is where we are currently sitting, and it does feel from at least a Wall Street perspective that the unicorn fears are kind of subsiding, which I would argue is a very positive thing. Bond yields rise after monthly ADP data on private sector hiring. So right here, private payrolls post better than expected growth of 534,000 in November. Private payrolls increased by 534,000 in November, better than the Dow Jones expectations of 506,000. Pretty solid, beat by 28,000. Leisure and hospitality saw a gain of 136,000, part of the 424,000 positions added in the service sectors. Companies employing 500 or more added 277,000 for the month, with growth especially strong in those with 1,000 or more workers, which contributed 234,000. So I do have some other interesting updates for you on this. Consumer confidence hit a 9-month low in November, a 9-month low consumer confidence. But on the flip side, Americans' view of the labor market conditions hit a high. So I find that to be very, I guess, polar opposite. Consumer confidence hit a 9-month low, but Americans' view of the labor market hitting a high. I guess that's somewhat reflected in some of these numbers that we're seeing right here, but I just thought that was something interesting to share with all of you. A little bit of, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't call them polar opposites, but it seems to be definitely on the opposite side of some sort of spectrum. Oil prices rebound after rough November, coffee at a 10-year high. It's this latter part that I particularly find to be abnormally concerning. When I was away for the wedding on Saturday, I decided I'm going to become a cappuccino person. I don't know anything about cappuccinos whatsoever, but it just feels like a good move for me as a person, me as a brand, and us for this live stream, us as the Moon Game community. I've decided I'm going to become a cappuccino person. My knowledge of it right now is that it's espresso based. Beyond that, I don't really know much about cappuccinos, but it just feels right. Like sometimes in life, you make a decision, you're like, oh, this was a good decision. So I do find it unfortunate that on this big decision of mine to become a cappuccino person, coffee is now at a 10-year high. That we're not getting off on the right foot, at all. And oil, like we showed you earlier, it was at $68. So at least we're coming off of that crazy high of 83. OPEC is actually meeting as we speak right now. So OPEC and their decisions with their allies clearly can have an impact on oil prices. So we're going to see how that plays out. Merck COVID pill advances, BioNTech CEO sees protection for vaccinated. So we are seeing some positive news there. I do have a little bit of an extra update. Where was this? The Merck update. An FDA advisory panel endorsed Merck's COVID antiviral pill by a slim margin. The FDA and CDC now need to sign off before it becomes available. So that's for Merck. And then BioNTech, that's going to be partnered up with Pfizer. So we're seeing some positive data, early data going on there. White House considers stricter international travel testing requirements. That's what we already discussed about the whole unicorn thing of are you or are you not a unicorn. Let's switch over a little bit to the world of crypto. Crypto's looking very strong right now. Matic back above $2. It wasn't when I started this stream, so that's getting a little bit of a push. We have Solana pushing at 225. Bitcoin holding above this breakout. Would love to see it get above 60,000. Ethereum hanging out above 4,700. Not far away from its all-time high at 4,800. Crypto is alive and well right now. If you're not at least paying attention to crypto and trying to learn about it, I think you're doing yourself a disservice, because crypto is obviously here to stay. It's a big money-making opportunity. Even if you don't want to invest in it and trade around it, you got to learn about it. It is here to stay. There are impressive money-making opportunities. All the one you see on the screen right now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Matic, I'm in all of those. I'm also in SHIB. I'm also in Loopring. I'm also in Hex, Algorand, VeChain, Doge. I'm probably missing one, but I'm in all of these, and I think the money-making opportunity is immense. So quick update here. Crypto.com. I wanted to bring this up because everyone's talking about it, especially their own token. Crow is doing very well right now, and it's clearly putting a lot of money into their own name brand, and a lot more people are hearing about it, with really it exploding after buying the naming rights to the Staples Centers. But anyway, Crypto.com to acquire 2 U.S. exchanges for derivatives and future offerings. So global crypto exchange Crypto.com is looking to strengthen its foothold in the United States by acquiring IG Group stakes in 2 exchange platforms. Both of these are going to be based in Chicago. One is Nadex, and then another smaller exchange. And this deal is for reported to be $216 million, and it's looking to close in the first half of 2022. So a little update on Crypto.com there. Like it said, strengthening its foothold in the U.S. with a derivatives and futures, offerings for the residents. Now we have 2 things to talk about with Fidelity. The first one kind of small, the next one kind of big, and it's pissing off a lot of people, especially the GameStop supporters. Fidelity reportedly launching a spot Bitcoin ETF in Canada. So this is cool. They already have a spot ETF up there, just Fidelity doesn't have it. Spot ETF, I would argue, is more of direct ownership than like a Bitcoin futures based ETF. This is like direct ownership of Bitcoin. Right now, we don't have any in the US, but obviously Canada already has them, and it's about to have some more. So let's hope that soon. We very much want the US to be following suit on that. But more importantly, with Fidelity, this is very much true. It made a big oopsie. Fidelity just made an oopsie on the worst possible stock. If you have not heard about this story, it blew up on Reddit last night, and it is very popular on Twitter this morning, and problematic. Is the honeymoon ending for retail investors and the norm core broker they have embraced in 2021? So this was posted on Superstonk last night by the user Harambereri. I hope I'm saying that right if you're listening right now. WTF? Can someone explain why where these shares came from? And what you need to know is better summed up right here by Wet Dirt Kirk. Shout out to Wet Dirt Kurt, actually a common listener of these streams, so shout out. Someone asked Fidelity subreddit why 11 million additional loanable GME shares appeared overnight. Impossible given the amount of volume. 20% of the float available to short appearing overnight. Below is their response, and this was a $2.2 billion mess up. So this is coming from Fidelity, and as you're about to see, of course, never accept blame, push it on to someone else. We have researched the issue with our lending services. In looking into the issue, it was found that one of the counterparties that may provide us shares to short had entered an incorrect number of shares available to short. The error caused the number of shortable shares to be overestimated by approximately 11 million. Folks, we're talking about GME that has a float of 70 million. That's huge. That is gigantic. We have rectified the issue, and the trade ticket should reflect the correct number of shares that may be available to short, which is approximately 2 million. So they this issue over 8 million, like they overestimated by 8 million, or they, of course, blamed it on someone else and they said the issue was by 8 million. That's crazy. What I found to be particularly hilarious was this was a follow-up. Photo leaked of Fidelity intern in charge of data entry blared on Supersong and accompanied by a headshot of Citadel founder ape archenemy Ken Griffin Photoshop with a curly mustache. This was hilarious. So this is the photo leaked of the Fidelity intern. This is the part, I guess, of this community that I find to be just so comical. It's so funny. It almost brings me back to like those days in January and February where like this was the fun stuff. Like together we were pointing out like serious problematic issues that we saw in brokers, in prime brokers, in market makers, in regulators, in politicians. And then this was like our form of internet trolling. And this is like, when I was seeing this morning, it just put a smile on my face because it brought me back to February. And to me, this is kind of, I guess in a certain sense, a driving ethos of this community. This is what we're about, not the stupid drama and infighting, but this is comedic gold right here. So obviously people are very angry at Fidelity this morning, just whatever this problem is. And it kind of brings you to the realization that it brings up the very serious question of, is there a good broker? And people are starting to realize that the good brokers are brokers you pay for. This has been stated many times by many people. If you're trading for free, you are the product. It's just how it is in this world. There's no such thing as a free lunch. And in reality, what you end up paying for, those commission, you're paying for transparency. In a certain sense, you might even be able to take it to the level of paying for honesty. People pay. You pay for high quality services. So yes, did things such as Robinhood bring a lot of people into the market because they liked free trading? Yeah, of course. And I'll applaud them for that effort. But now people are starting to really dive into, like, what does that business model truly entail? And we're starting to realize that free trading is maybe not all that it's cracked up to be. Obviously, these are my own opinions. Other people out there, they're like, no, whatever, I'll take these hits and I'd rather just trade for free. And that's fine. We're all able to have our own opinion. But I do want to leave you with this, like, one little factoid. All the people I personally know on Wall Street that are trading their own personal accounts, almost all of them, damn near all of them, are using a paid service. Most of them end up being on Interactive Brokers. Yes, it is not commission free. You're paying per trade, but I guess we got to take that for, like, kind of what it means is, like, it has to mean something when a lot of people, when they're trading their own personal account and they know something about Wall Street, they choose to do it with commission-based brokers. And the common name I hear quite a bit is Interactive Brokers. Just so everyone's up to date on the Fidelity story and kind of what's going on there. All right, let's talk a little bit more specifically about some of these stonks. So first of all, for the overall market, S&P 500, bad day yesterday, but bouncing back right now. Pretty similar with the Qs. The Qs didn't go as bad because Apple had a very good day, especially when we were closing out yesterday. Apple showed quite a bit of strength. And the Russell 2000, completely different. I mean, red, but now we're actually gapping up. We're about to create a gap. So nice gap up in the Russell. Let's hope that that bodes well for AMC. Speaking of which, AMC, we are praying that this is a fake out breakdown. This is not a good scenario. It went below the low of September 30th, but as of now, we're gapping above that. We don't technically have a gap up. We're just opening up higher than this level. We do not want to breach any of these lows. We want support roughly in this area between 33 and 34 to be found. We want this support very much to hold, because if it goes below it, I think you're going to see some of the weaker hands start to panic. I find this situation to be particularly frustrating because I fully understand that emotions are high. I myself have quite a bit of money myself on the line with AMC. And then when you hear this rhetoric of people are telling you somehow that buying is bad, that's like, it's, as a community, we're starting to fight with, like, lunacy. When there's people who are like, oh, no, somehow buying is bad. What are you talking about? Buying is what pushes the stock higher. And when we're at precarious points in the chart, such as this, and then also that's when the voices get louder of, like, maybe we shouldn't buy. That's, I don't know. It really, on a personal level, makes me, like, question their motives. Like, when we're at such an important point such as this, and then people are like, buying is bad. Buying the dip is bad. We shouldn't buy. Like, when they're spreading that rhetoric, clearly they don't understand anything about supply and demand. They clearly don't understand anything about market mechanics. I don't know. It's absurdly frustrating. And then it makes me question of, like, do they actually care about this community? At all? Do they care about the success of what's going on here? Like, that's a crazy thing. That's just false information. It's straight up fake news. So yesterday, GME breached below its support level at 196, but then ended up closing right there. And similar to AMC, we're seeing some strength in the pre-market. Would love for this to recapture 200, and then obviously the higher the better. We will be checking them throughout the day. In terms of the Ortex update, AMC currently has an estimated short interest of 16.5%, and GME has an estimated short interest of 11.12%. In terms of crypto, Bitcoin looking strong, Ethereum looking strong, Solana looking strong, Matic looking strong. Let's check out some of these other things. SHIB had a great day yesterday, went up to 54. At one point, it was up like, 30-40%. Right now, taking a breather, we're looking for it to hopefully create a new higher low and then bounce off of that and continue upward. In terms of loop ring, flat right now, hanging out just below $3. Would love for it to recapture 3, but once again, range-bound trading, not really trending at the moment. Cardano, unfortunately, took a sizable hit from $2.40 all the way down to $1.40. But now, hopefully, the bottom is in and we can get above 164. And I want to then see a test of 176. Once again, all of these ones that we went over, I'm in them, I own them, I'm long on them, I want them to be successful. Cardano, I find to be particularly upsetting right now, especially because things such as Solana and these other Avalanche here, I'm just trying to bring this one. Avalanche, all these other utility-based crypto projects are doing pretty well. And Cardano, I'm not going to quit on it. I'm still in it. But in the short term, I find it a little bit frustrating that it's not performing as well. Not at all. But hang on. Let's see how that all plays out. Matic is doing great. Solana doing great. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of green right now. Hopefully, crypto is gearing up for its next big move. That would be awesome. All right, let me turn this the next 8 minutes over to you to answer any of your questions. VBIV exploding today. HPV vaccine approved. VBIV. Yeah, I mean, it's up 40 cents. These gap ups, I find it particularly difficult to chase them if you don't already have a position. Maybe it gets some legs and gets moving, and maybe it's a short swing trade or maybe a day trade or something like that. But sounds like some positive news. Letty becoming an astronaut. Shout out Letty. CHGG for gap fill plus repurchase program announced. CHGG. So generally a repurchase program is solid because that's kind of signaling to the public that they think their company's undervalued and they're trying to buy themselves at a discount. If this gets going, yeah, you have that opportunity of a gap fill. You're going to want to look into how bad the earnings was, because obviously there was a considerable gap down from $62 to $40. So look into why the earnings was so bad, like what was said. Did they like severely lower their guidance or what's going on? Chegg, obviously related to college students trying to get through college. So I would want to dive into like what prompted this gap down. And then from there, maybe if you get the break above $30 and that holds, all right, then you're going to have to watch 39. And then you could talk about this gap fill all the way up to 58. But I would want to see a little bit more momentum. It has been building momentum over the past 4 days, but it's also at support. This actually might be a pretty solid opportunity, especially with the repurchase program being announced. I mean, that's some solid stuff. I would want to dive a bit more into it, but I do find it interesting. This might be a good buy opportunity on Chegg. I've actually never traded Chegg. I've used Chegg, but I've never engaged in its stock. I could check Tiblio, but it's not updated yet because Tiblio's on the options market, and the options market doesn't open until 9:30. Someone said trade ADA for algo. I own both. I own both. Wait, what is this? The vert. What's Fintel Insider GIC Private Ltd reports selling 1.4 million shares of Virtu Financials at a total cost of 40 million. GIC Private Ltd selling Vert2, which is the second biggest market maker. Oh, I did have an update for you as, hang on, as we're waiting for the market open. Where is this? No, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Finviz. I got a response from Finviz. All right. Why can't I find it now? Okay, so this was with Finviz, and I asked them about the GameStop thing, and they were reporting the high short interest. And I just said, I was hoping you could inform me of where your short float data is sourced from and how often it's updated. Thank you, Matt. This is from Finviz's like support team. They said the short float is updated in 2-week periods by the official data from NASDAQ along with its release schedule. Should you have any other questions, please let us know. And then I was like, well, hang on, that's weird because they're referring to this data right here, as in on the 24th, they should be updating with the November 15th data with the short interest coming in at 10.97%. So I asked them that. I was like, what do you mean the NASDAQ's not reporting that? But regardless, right there from Finviz, we know they're working exclusively on the exchange reported short interest. So they're always at a 2-week delay. At best, honestly. So the Finviz data, that's like from the Finviz team. So I hope we can put that issue to bed of them. They're basically admitting that this data right here, that I believe it picked up some steam probably in super stonk of, so right here, look at short float already updated, and they updated it literally after I sent this email. Look at 10%, 10%. So we finally got that update. It was like a data error, and I don't think this is necessarily a good source for that short data because it's 2 weeks behind. It's not doing any predictive modeling the way Unusual Whales, S3, or Ortex are doing. Finviz is just taking the data that's publicly available 2 weeks after the fact. So hopefully we could put that issue to bed and people don't have to pump up their like videos with, oh my God, GameStop short interest is over 100% again. Sounds like you need some hot tea and bourbon. Well, I have hot tea that has now become cold, but I don't know if bourbon's the right option right now. Do I really sound that bad? Or just kind of bad? Let me know. Scale of 1 to 10, how bad do I sound before the bell goes ding, ding, ding? What do we have? Someone said Prague shall rippeth today. Oh man, you guys are really, someone said an 11. That's pretty bad, folks. I'm hearing a lot of 11s being reported. Why are stocks valuable if they don't pay dividends? Because you're an equity owner. You're hoping that the company improves and the value of the company is more, and then you have more money with it. If it's not dividends that make a stock have value, it's the company growing or the perception of the company being more value that gives you growth. That's why stocks go up, because it's perceived to be more valuable. Where are we at? Where are we at? All right.
Ding, ding, ding. The casino is open.
Let's rock, apes. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. All right, let me drop to the 1 minute to see how this is all going. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. You sound like the Prague. Could you check out ISPC on Ortex? Yes, no problem whatsoever. ISPC. Why is it not loading? While I'm working on that, I wonder if I could get some Christmas tunes, upbeat Christmas favorites, a little background music. Christmas time. All right, where are we at today? And what was it? ISPC. It has no, it's not on Ortex. The cost to borrow is very high. The utilization's high. The shares on loan are 1.11 million, but it does not have an estimated short interest for it. Must be did it just get like uplisted or something? Cost to borrow very high. So tells me that it's tough to locate those shares. Very tough. All right, let's see what Unusual Whales is saying for the day. Anything yet? No, it is December 1st. No alerts from Unusual Whales quite yet. Let's let the market open. Let's let the market breathe. All right, we are good there. We are good. What are they? All right. So it's that AMC to the left. All right. AMC is currently trading at 34.18. This is a key level of support. We want this to hold. We very much want this to hold. Music needs to be louder. It sounds weird. Is that a good volume? Let me know if that's too much. You gotta wear your ape Christmas shirt right here. You gotta get your ape in the Christmas hat. We gotta get seasonal, folks. Seasonal. Where's Prague at? So the market taking a little bit of a dip. Prague. There we go. We have Prague up. Too loud. Morning, Matt. Do we still own the float on AMC? We never fully owned it. The only report we have is from June, and we owned 80%. So when you say we owned 80%, we don't know what it is right now. That report was from early June, and right now we're in early December. They have triggered a recount, so we don't know the new numbers. What else do we have? Love the holiday vibes. I mean, folks, it's December. And just to remind everyone of where we are at in the seasonality of the world right here, futures, equity. Let me bring this up for all of us right here. This is where we're at. We're right at the start of December. So it seems like the first, fourth is bullish, then we have a little bearishness, and then bullish all the way until the first part of January. So this is December right here, and we are smack dab at this point. Does it have to play out this way? Absolutely not. This is just over 20 years of data, what the seasonality influences are. All right, what other big movers? What's going on today? Someone said Lucid is looking good this morning. Lucid, I mean, it's up. We're seeing some green in the market. We have a decent amount of gap up, so let's see if anything can build up some momentum. Did Hood hit a new all-time low? I think it did. New all-time low. Bummer, dude. That's a bummer. How's the market looking right now? Hood, new all-time low. AMC 3450, GME 198. Prague, is it gonna start building up something here? All right, what else do we have going on? Let me know in chat if there's any big movers, any big shakers, or if you have any questions. Someone said Rivian is on the move. Rivian is on the move, up 4%. Somehow popped off of 120 up to 125. The soft Christmas music is nice and calming. Shout out, Jason. What else do we have? Tesla. Prague. Someone was talking about ISPC. ISPC, crazy move. Already halted. I wonder what the news on ISPC is. No, did not want that. ISPC. Halted circuit breaker. I'm not seeing other news on ISPC. Just the fact that it is a circuit breaker halt. Huh. There has to be something going on with ISPC. I like that GameStop staying above 196. Kind of bounced off of 195 this morning. Let's see if AMC can collect itself. It was down, then got some buying. All right, how's the Russell looking? Theoretically, we've seen this, at least the pattern between AMC and the Russell, the top left and the bottom right here, is typically if the Russell does better, the AMC does as well. So we're hoping that these two things definitely go green. Matt, how great would it be to find out Citadel is shorting Hood? What's going on, Billy Ray? Do you think the VIX could be a good play for the new COVID strain? As of now, it kind of seems like the market is shaking off the current fears. So if you think it could increase volatility, yeah, it would be. But it seems like the reports coming out of South Africa is that the victims of it are not really showing severe reactions, which let's hope it keeps that way. And if that stays true, I don't know if the VIX would be that good of a play. Did you see Unusual Whales 950 put for next Friday yesterday? I think you're referring to Tesla, right, Brian? If you're referring to Tesla, I did see that. ARDX. What's going on with ARDX? ARDX. Good news. It's a biotech that was probably just a penny stock, not necessarily like my bread and butter. Thoughts on Solana? Love Solana. In Solana, I think Solana is a great Solana is ripping right now. If you're trying to cop some Solana for yourself, you could easily get it on Voyager right above my head. Just download the app, throw in that code MAT21. And as soon as you deposit it, you'll get some free Bitcoin, but you'll also have access to Solana, among many other cryptos. Realistically, what do we need for AMC to start moving again? More volume, utilization to increase? Seems like a never-ending battle. There's no metric that's like, oh, we need this for it to move. Like even that, okay, utilization, it's just a ratio. Like utilization is the amount of shares on loan divided by total loanable shares. Utilization doesn't say, oh, like we're about to have more positive price action. Typically, when you're asking about more volume is commonly related to more volatility, but it could be to the upside or the downside. And there are cases where you have a lot of volume and the stock goes nowhere, but that's more of a rarity of a case. Volume doesn't mean bullish or bearish. It just means the stock is being more actively traded. What I would say we need for AMC is nice technical breakouts. Like, it needs to slowly grind or even quickly grind. It doesn't really matter, but we need nice technical recapture. So right now AMC is trading at 34. It needs to get back up into this daily wedge. It needs to, I guess, let's say, get above 37 first. Like, it needs to show strength. Right now, people are scared about AMC. They're seeing it. They're like, hang on, from November 17th until now, I'm seeing red. People's confidence needs to be returned. The people who are more so of like weak paper hands, like we need those people to stay in. We need them to stop selling and, I guess, like, freaking people out. So I think it just comes down to the price action. And I think it becomes one of those things where it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of some people are like, okay, if it recaptures 35, I'll buy. So they buy, and then that helps it get to 36. And then people at 36 are like, okay, that's what I wanted to see. Now they buy. And then it gets over 37. And then at 37, I don't know, the algorithms see that it's a technical breakout, and then that pushes it back into the wedge. It's just like, we need momentum to build up. We need a series of like little good things to happen that leads to a series of nice positive, like notably big things to happen. Is at least how I would look at it. All right, SPY kind of turning back around. Prague right now at 314, GME turning back around. Let's put the Russell over here. We want the Russell to get above 222. That should definitely help. I know there's a subset of people that like strongly believe AMC is going to move inversely to the overall market. I don't think the data suggests that. I mean, even right now, how similar do AMC and the Russell look like right now? Very similar. How similar do the SPY and AMC look? They don't really seem to be moving inversely. All right, what else do we have? Do large institutions buy in only to aid defending shorts, like large longs supposed to influence the sell-off when they sell off? Let me reread that. Do large institutions buy in only to aid in defending shorts, like large longs supposed to influence sell-off when they sell off? No, large institutions, they buy because most market interactions are people going long, not going short. It's about a 95 to 5% break. Like, most trading is people buying on the hopes of something going up. And I've never seen any data to suggest the opposite for large institutions. When large institutions take a stake, they want it to go up. For example, think of someone like Warren Buffett. He is, I would consider, a large institution. Berkshire Hathaway, they'll buy billions of dollars of like Coca-Cola, hoping Coca-Cola goes up. They're not attempting to help shorts. Engaging in the market in like a bearish short methodology is relatively small compared to people who are going long. Like, most people go long because they want it to go up. That's true for retail. It's definitely true for retail. And it's also true for like larger players, institutions, hedge funds. They are trying to buy things when it's cheap and ride it all the way up. Definitely. So this, like, I guess the thesis of, are they only buying it? Like, these large institutions care about themselves. They're not going to buy something to help a short if it's not them. Like, Wall Street is a very cutthroat environment. There's very rarely are you trying to help out some other organization. What's up with AMC FTDs going up 2,700%? They didn't go up 2,700%. Burn the rest. I don't know where you're seeing that, but from the most recent report that came out yesterday to the report before that, it dropped. It went from like 80,000 down to I think 20,000. I don't know where you're seeing that. It went up 2,700%. And also, it's kind of weird to look at FTDs in that mannerism of like a percentage increase, because what time frame are you on, like what's your starting value, and most of the time you're looking at it as a magnitude or a magnitude relative to the either free float or outstanding shares. To just say a percentage increase is kind of like a mathematically useless way to look at FTDs. If anything, it's just a very good title. It's a very good headline. It sounds like someone just wrote that on a blog to try to get you to read their blog. I look 24/7 on the chart. It only has 20 million market cap. That's so low. Good idea to invest low market cap? No. Sometimes things have a low market cap because they're just not worth it. Like, there's many businesses that are not worth 20 million. The game of the market is to find things that are undervalued. So you would buy that if you think it's worth more than 20 million, but 20 million might be an accurate evaluation. It might be an overvaluation. Just because something has a low market cap, that doesn't mean it's a good opportunity. Thoughts on Elon? It's cheap. Oh, the crypto elongate or whatever that is. I haven't done too much research on it, so I don't really know much about it. I don't own any of it. All right, IWM, look at this. Look at the similarities. The sell-off, a little bit of a bounce, and flat sideways trading. For the rhetoric out there of people are saying like, oh, we need the market to crash to trigger the MOAS. I don't know. I'm seeing them move in a directly related manner rather than an inversely related manner. The song's getting a little loud, but the SPY is bouncing. How are the Qs doing? How's the tech sector doing? The Q's looking good. All right, let's go over any of these alerts. Do we have any yet on unusual whales? No, none coming through quite yet. Yesterday, the one we were talking about in the Discord, which if you want that, it's pinned to the top of chat, was Lyft. Man, this gap up in the morning to capture those gains. I got out right at the close yesterday. It would have been so nice to get. Honestly, Lyft is showing a little bit of strength right now. Someone loaded up on the 42s for the end of this week. So in 2 days. And it triggered around 1-ish p.m., like right in here. And I got out on a nice 40% gain. This probably was up even higher, maybe even 60, 80%, something like that. I don't know what these are trading at right now, but that was a nice trade. And that was from Unusual Whales, and we were just kind of breaking down the trade in the Discord. What else is moving right now? What else is moving? Tesla kind of flat. Lucid kind of flat. Prague a little bit down, 310. GME, AMC, Nvidia, a lot of flat right now in the market. Not too many crazy movers. Crypto moving. Solana looking great at 228. Wow. Solana Solana showing a lot of strength. Watch for Solana to get above 236. And then look for Avalanche to get above 130. A potential cup and handle, an inverse shoulder, head, shoulder situation. People are talking about, let me bring up Apple. Apple, is that a new all-time high? $2.75 trillion market cap now? Yeah, it hit a new all-time high. Dingity, ding, ding, ding. Apple, I don't think Tiblio's updated yet, but Apple, I think like a really easy play right now would be sell like a put credit spread. So like you would sell the 156s, maybe buy the 152s. And that's just a bet that Apple will stay above 156 by like whatever time frame you think it'll stay above 156. That's probably like an easy layup. Like it's not going to be some huge percentage gain, but a lot of the times that's consistent traders who are looking for like monthly income, just of like you want to be a professional trader and do this day in and day out and build up your portfolio. Once in a while, you're going to hit that grand slam. But from my own, I guess, like conversations with people who are professional traders, professional trading is much more a game of hitting a bunch of first base hits opposed to a bunch of like grand slams. Like it's just consistently hitting a first base hit over and over and over and over again, and just slowly and surely building up your account. What you care about is your percentage, like just week over week, month over month, you want to go up by X percent. Don't get so focused on the magnitude of the money, the sizable money when you're getting into the game of paying off your rent, paying off your internet, paying off your groceries. That will come as you build your account. And the way you build your account is by continually getting a nice percentage gain. It's a big number, but if you can continually make 10% on a trade, even 5% on a trade, like it's just, if you look at compound interest, it is not long before like a $10,000. If you take a $10,000 account and you're continually making 10% on it, it does not take many trades for you to get into a 6-figure account, like at all. So remember that. Go for those singles. Go for that first base hit. Always focus on getting singles. There are people out there who don't do it that way. They look for like 1 or 2 or 3 home runs a year. And it's possible. I've seen people do it. I know some people who do that. I think it's more of a difficult way to engage in the market. But if that's your style, hey, I have no issue with it. I'm just trying to say like what's like I see to be more common across the board. All right, sports fan, calm down. Do we not like the single analogy? Have you seen anything about MMTLP? Apparently you could buy into a dividend on TDA, announcement due on the dividend by December 28th. Unfortunately, I haven't. MMTLP. So that is the ticker. That's the ticker on dividend for the dividend. Are pot stocks manipulated by shorts? Tilray. They might be. I haven't seen evidence that suggests that. I think right now the issue with the marinara industry is there's just, from a federal perspective, from a government perspective, especially in the US, it's just very slow. Like the acceptance of it is dragging its feet. It's just taking forever and ever and ever. I think the industry will do well, but opposed to other industries such as like, I don't know, data processing, data computing, esports, online gambling, that I think will grind higher and higher and higher. That one, I think we just wait. It flatlines until government approval, and then it shoots up. It's an MMAT spinoff. Okay, got you. So for that stuff, it's just waiting. I am bullish on the sector, but I think it's going to do nothing. And then one day we're going to get the announcement from the government that it's federally legalized, and then they're all going to shoot up. So I think it's a little bit different than a slow grind. Matt, I started using Webull back when you recommended it. I love the user interface, but maybe you no longer recommend. What do you recommend if I like that interface? Well, if you like the interface, that's fine. Folks, if you like Webull's interface, I think there's no problem with that. It's a good interface. If you want to use that to do your charting, to look at the options chain, I find there's no problem with that. I think the problem is like actually executing your trades there. Right now, if you want to use public, you could get free stock and all that stuff. No market makers, no payment for order flow. They do loan out your shares. So to avoid that, you reach out to their like kind of robot customer support system and say, don't loan out my shares. So I myself on public, you turn off your loanable shares. Like you turn off your share lending. Right now, people are kind of trying to figure out what's going on with Fidelity. Literally up until yesterday, I thought Fidelity was a good one, well known. What I liked about it is you could directly route your orders to lit exchanges. I guess to be very, very specifically clear, I am the biggest fan and the biggest proponent of trading on lit exchanges. You can crop that, quote that, you can cut that, you can send that to the bank. I think whatever methodology you have, if you're doing lit exchange orders, some of those times, depending on your broker, you might or might not have to pay for commissions, all of that stuff. But if you just like a certain charting methodology, like if you're comfortable with Webull of just like the charts and the technical analysis, use it. That's fine. But then just you could execute your trades elsewhere. I don't think there's a problem with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people saying right now you don't trade on Webull, but you enjoy their charts. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll look at Webull for the option chain just because I like know how to quickly navigate through their option chain of what's going on. But if you're just using it for that information, that's fine. That doesn't mean you have to trade on it. A lot of people are talking about AERC. Aeroclean Technologies. What happened? Package software. What? I've never heard of this before today. Oh, and it just started trading. So for me, as like I care quite a bit about technical analysis, there's not much of a chart to go off of. So if you like it, I seriously wish you the best of luck. I hope you crush it. It's just for me, I feel a bit more comfortable with more of a built out chart, so I know where the levels of supply and demand are. Morning, guy. I asked about Walmart before. Glad I listened. LO. What do you think about PayPal? Very oversold on the daily. Waiting to find the bottom to play the recovery. Shout out, strong hand. All right, so you are asking about PayPal. PayPal. So yes, yesterday we had the quick breakdown of RSI, relative strength index, and right now you actually are seeing some bullish divergence. That's a very good call. So relative to whatever this was and recently, so the RSI has gone higher, but the stock has gone lower. It's starting to bend back around and it's in this region of consolidation. PayPal, this is kind of a nice dip buy. And if you want to risk whatever this low is, you could risk 171. You could risk 175. Like, so if this is your risk point, you're playing the bullish divergence of the RSI. Maybe your signal, let's bring the MACD back up, is a crossover, which we might have today. PayPal, folks, this is an opportunity right here. The technicals are lining up. We have bullish divergence in the RSI. It's already oversold. The bears are running out of steam. We're about to get the MACD cross. Maybe you want to use the official going green as your buy signal, and then you could ride it back up to 216. You could ride it up to the gap fill of 226. You could sell a put credit spread. You could buy a call debit spread. You could straight up buy calls if you want more risk. I would definitely give yourself enough time. You could just buy stock. You could buy stock and sell calls against it. I mean, there's many ways to make money if you think the direction is upward, and they all just have a different gradient of risk. I would say the lowest amount of risk would probably be a put credit spread. If you are bullish on this scenario, that's probably the best way to, like, the least risk, but also least reward. The highest risk, highest reward would be buying call options, bringing that down in the risk spectrum a little bit. You would do a call debit spread, and then a little bit less than that would be buying like stock itself. So straight up calls, call debit spread, stock itself. That's probably, in a risk perspective, roughly the same as like a put credit spread. So we have a call debit spread and a put credit debit spread, excuse me. Credit is for the put, debit is for the call. So that's like kind of the gradient, but this is, I mean, we could mark this out right now. What is this? Let's mark this out as if we were to take it. I'm not going to take this trade myself, but I'm going to mark it out on this chart, and we could come back to it in a little bit. But if you want to use the MACD cross to kind of conform, this is, I think PayPal right now is an opportunity. Short put as well. Yeah, you could sell a put. That's another one. That's a little bit more risky than a put credit spread, but that would be in there. Put sandwich spread on your sandwich. Hey Matt, bigger problem is with Apex, even turning off lending with the broker. If they clear through Apex can and will still lend shares. I have letters from Apex stating this. They make it impossible to stop lending. Irish, This is news to me, but that seems crazy and potentially very likely. Could you send those to me? Could you like DM that to me on Twitter? I would like to read that myself and like share it with the whole community and maybe kind of do some research. I thought if your broker said no lending, that the clearing broker would not lend it. But maybe they're even more nefarious than that. So yeah, if you could send that my way, that would be great. I would love to share that with everyone else. You said doo-doo, look into Jasmine. Yeah, so Jasmine's on my list. Someone was saying that yesterday of like worthwhile to check out. I appreciate that, Devin. Selling some losers for taxes before the new year and looking for something too long until spring. What do you like for that time frame? For spring? Honestly, I think, well, PayPal, I like the setup in PayPal right now. So maybe that's a little bit too short of a time frame. I think Penn is very cheap right now, and I think DraftKings is very cheap right now. Buying on a discount there, I think that could be solid. What else is super cheap? I'm trying to think of like what's undervalued of just like a multi-month hold. I guess I really like Lucid where it's at. I'm really liking Lucid. Tesla's costly, but I also like that. If we're talking for the next, I don't know, half year, let's say 6 months, 4 months, I'm a fan of DraftKings, Penn, PayPal for a shorter time frame, Lucid and Tesla, I guess right now. But even all of those might be even a little bit shorter. Like maybe the next 3 months, all of those, I think Tesla and Lucid look like they want to break out. And I think for a little bit of a longer time frame, Penn and DraftKings are just stupidly cheap right now. Look at that. We're seeing some green. You hear about the explosion at the cheese factory? There was debris everywhere. Shout out Clubfoot Billy. Love that. Hey, thoughts on STRN? I'm in at 288, 3K shares. Here buy 2 shares. It's looking really thick. STRN. It's looking strong. So it started recently trading, but I like the breakout above 334. Ride that trend. See how it reacts to just above $4, and then from that, watch 450. Looking strong. Can't DM you got blocked on Twitter for being misunderstood when defending the YouTuber business model. Where else can I send? This was sent to me during the April craziness on GM using Webull with Interactive Brokers. Now, Irish, you could DM me on Instagram, and then also there's like the YouTube email if you go to the About page on YouTube. So the email or Instagram DM could also be fine. And I think I need to also say thank you for defending the YouTuber business model. You got blocked on Twitter. Wait, you got blocked by me on Twitter? I don't think I blocked you, Irish. Wolf at support thoughts 1 year chart. Let's check out Wolf. Woof. It is at support, and it's also severely oversold. Maybe when some momentum starts to get back into it, but just remember, because something's at support doesn't mean it has to catch itself. It means there's a chance of it, and like you have a well-defined risk is how I would look at it. If you're okay with risking, let's say $18, it's at 19. If you're okay with risking $1.50 right now to potentially play this back up to 24, that's opportunity. It's definitely opportunity. Good call out, Mike. Hey, Matt, you do awesome analysis. So I have way too many Jan 2021 calls for Roku, all in the mid 300s, 330, 370. Stock is beat up. Should I dump for 75% loss or hold longer? Roku. Okay, so Jan, that's a tight time frame. I wish it was like rolled out a little bit longer because I think this one is overextended as well. Like I think Roku is due for at least some sort of bounce. So you could cut it. You own calls, which means if you want, you could do a poor man's covered call by selling calls against it, against your long calls to collect some of that premium to maybe help a little bit. But if you think it's going to continue to go south, you might just want to cut that one a little bit loose. I do think Roku is due for a bounce. I think this has been extremely beaten down. I just don't know if you're going to get that bounce to the 370s by mid-January. That's like a pretty tight time frame. All right, what else do we have? So AMC showing some strength as IWM bounces. All right. AMC, look at this. I mean, I hope this like is really driving home the point of AMC does seem to be moving in the same generic direction of the overall market. So this concept of hoping for a market crash, I mean, as soon as IWM bounces, AMC bounces. As SPY goes up, IWM goes up, AMC goes up. They do seem to be, their relationship seems to be closer to being directly related rather than inversely related. Matt, does Fidelity trade my AMC shares in my cash account? I think you mean, do they loan your shares? I think that's what you're asking. Oh, okay. Yeah, you followed up with that. Perfect. What the hoot? They shouldn't, but I don't work at Fidelity. Some people are losing a little bit of faith in Fidelity, a little bit confused about this data error. And then I also saw some people like pointing out something like, I don't know whether it was deep in their agreement or just their FAQs or something about shares being loaned. You have to be careful with that. There are probably other ways to definitively make sure your shares are not loaned, but the one I know off of the top of my head is by directly registering your shares, by DRSing it on something like ComputerShare. Like I said, there might be other ways to ensure your shares are not being loaned out, but I am positive they're not going to be loaned out if you directly register it. This hasn't been discussed in a while. It was a hot topic like 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's pros and cons to directly registering it, but that's definitely one of the pros, is that your shares are not going to be loaned out. Prague Ortex data, it's beating me up. Think it'll bounce soon. Prague trading at $3. Let me check out the Ortex stuff. Frogity. All right, Prague, estimated short interest 10.3%. I'm staying in Prague because I think it is clearly undervalued. I think it's an undervalued company that has the chance of squeezing. So when I pair those two things together, I'm more than happy to keep my position. Do I think it'll bounce soon? I mean, that's tough. The shorter the time frame, the more randomness involved. Yep, you blocked me, and the only reason I could find was it was explaining the Markiplier model that Uncle Bruce followed. Chats, merch, and ads. Wasn't a dig. Irish, I don't know what's going on there. That seems odd to me. Maybe something weird happened. Make sure just tag one of the mods with your Twitter name, and I'll make sure to unblock you so you could just DM me there. But you don't have to keep sending in supers, man. Like, definitely just feel free to like at one of the mods who are in here right now. Or just, if you even post it, hopefully I can see your name, and okay, yeah, Seraphim. Just tag Seraphim and send her your Twitter name. All right, IWM looking good, SPY looking good, AMC looking good, turning back around. Would love for this to recapture, just dollar at a time. 35, 36, 37. I like the music tunes in the background. Williams, Alligator, and MACD works very good on AMV. Okay, I think you mean AMC. The Alligator. Yeah, so we did that breakdown of the Alligator. I think it's definitely some interesting stuff. Pen. Actually, what I wanted to talk about with Pen is indicator right here. So right here, remember, we don't want to be late to the party. So some people, what they look for is actually the first pop above this. And That's so 3 potential things showing up on pen right now. You could get the alligator pop like above whatever the lip line is right here. Remember, red is for lipstick. So you could get the pop above the lipstick line. You have bullish divergence in the RSI and the MACD crossed. So if you wanted to be like really conscious of it, you're basically looking for a break above 54 and you're just risking 49. And you could be riding potentially pen all the way back up to 140. Pen is screaming opportunity right now. Maybe you just want to set your alert or something at this, but bullish divergence, MACD cross, and the alligator all potentially lining up in a sector that I think is solid to hold for like the long haul. And DraftKings, I mean, these are related sectors, so it's not too far off. This one, look for it. MACD cross, a little bit more beat up in terms of the technicals, but probably a similar situation. I don't think they're going to divert too far from each other. Do I think that SHIB is a good investment or more of a hype train like Doge was? I would say it's somewhere in the middle. So SHIB very fairly has a more built out ecosystem, which I'm a fan of. They're making moves. The development, I like it. I wish they were burning more rapidly. They are burning, but I wish they were burning more rapidly. There's an extreme amount of supply. So I want to see the improvements like that. So that's why I'm saying it's like, in my mind, a little bit more in the middle. But also with that being said, that has not scared me away from my investment. I first got in at like, right now, what is it trading at? It's always hard to do it. So it's at, let's say it's at 46. I first got in at 6. It was gifted to me by Voyager. And then I bought more at like 75. So my average is probably roughly where we are right now. But I'm in it. I'm in it. Definitely in it. Have we discussed the use of fractional shares? This has been promoted by brokers as a good thing for retail, similar to payment for order flow. Could brokers be packaging fractional shares to hide SI? No, I don't think I could come up with a way that fractional shares would hide short interest. Like, because what a fractional share is the broker bought it and then they're just kind of doing the math of like person A owns like 0.5, person B owns the other 0.5. I don't know how that would relate to shorting because the broker has the shares. It's just them like doing proper accounting of who owns what at what percentage. So if the broker already has it, well, they can loan it out. But also if you're loaning it out like that, you're not hiding short interest. When people are discussing hiding short interest, that's the most reasonable like market structure way I can come up with to hide short interest is going to be in the derivatives market. And that's also going to be with really hiding FTDs. Like hiding short interest is difficult. If you're looking to hide short interest, that's coming back to brokers and prime brokers who are literally like mismarking it. Instead of it being short, they mark it as long, even though it was really short. So I don't know how fractional shares would come into that situation. Just like that's them mismarking it. I don't think it matters if it's fractional or not. Someone just said Unusual has had a fat alert. All right, so we have some alerts coming in. Let's see if there's any that catch my eye. IWM calls for January 20th, January 7th, the 17th. I'm looking for some short-term ones that might be fun to pay attention to. XBI call for next Friday. Oh, actually, we have one. Ooh, this one's interesting. CRM for in 2 days. Ooh. Okay, so this is a 280 call. What in the world? Someone got a 280 call for Friday? Huh? On Salesforce? How much are those things? A Salesforce 280 call for 2 days just came across on an unusual whales alert. Let me think about this. Let me think. But this is tough because also the queues just came across. Let me think about this. Let me think about what's going on, because it's somewhat relating to the queues, it being Salesforce. CRM. Let me look at some of these technicals to see if I like it. High or low, the MACD. Where is the alligator? 5 minute. The 1 minute just crossed. The 3 minute. I mean, honestly, you could take it and just risk 262. 280? What? IV 62%. And it expires Friday? Do they know something we don't know, folks? All right. Well, we have to put the final filter of trading on it. Let's see if I take it or not. Heads, I take it. Tails, I don't take it. Tails, I don't take it. All right. Well, it was fun while it lasted, but we will not be taking that one. You know, sometimes you just have to leave it up to the luck of the coin, and the coin was saying this is not your trade, Matt. How do brokers mark shorts as long? I guess mechanic. I've never worked at like a prime broker place, so I'm unaware of like how it's done. Like, we know from like court cases that has been done, but I'm unaware of like what they do. I'm sure just in their system, it's like it's marked as like, I'm sure they have some methodology where it's either a long or a short, and then they're like, oh, they just like switch the moniker on it. Someone said, Matt, do 2 out of 3. Actually, a lot of people are saying do 2 out of 3. Okay. Why is it slow? Uh-oh. If we're doing 2 out of 3, now it's this. Now we have one more. Two tails. I'm telling you, folks, the quarter does not want me to do it. It does look good, though. Well, I just want to double check that I'm understanding this alert properly. A 280 call for this Friday. Yeah, and it expires. Does it really expect it to rip that much? Huh. Well, I did it. I took the trade. I took the alert. But I'm a little bit worried about it because the coin told me not to, and also the Qs just got a big hit on puts. Like the Qs, the tech sector. So that's a little bit worrisome. Now, let me give you a little bit of a breakdown of how, at least in the Discord, a lot of us have been thinking about it. Is we're trying to figure out like a useful methodology of like how to best utilize these alerts. Like, is it best to get in and use that time frame, to use less of a time frame, to use more of a time frame? Is it best to get in and out and quickly try to get a 5% gain, an 8% gain? Is it better to swing for the fences and get like try to go for a 30% gain? So what we're doing is trying to track a lot of these alerts and see what's going on and see like what theoretically is the best methodology of how to play these. Unusual Whales has premium alerts, it has free alerts. We're kind of testing all those, like premium versus free. Maybe something along the lines of, should we only be doing it on like the SPY, the Qs, and IWM? So we're kind of just building out an Excel sheet of, if you took this and played it this way, we're just trying to collect some data points to hopefully develop like a trading methodology around it. Your sleeves are going to rip before CRM does. Best of 5. I am so happy to wear this, like this ape shirt, the ape Santa Claus shirt. Shout out to Austin. This is an awesome shirt. I guess, is someone seriously just saying it's going to gap fill? That's a crazy play. Do you think it was Pelosi? It has the vibe of being Pelosi. You know? Feels like Pelosi's fingers are all over this one. Hey, that Q alert worked out pretty freaking well. Looking thick in the claws shirt. Smells like a Pelosi play. All right, well, let's pay attention to it. Let's see how dumb I was or wasn't being. The comparison of SHIB with Doge makes no sense. Doge is the means of payment transfer of $1 costs not even a penny. SHIB $1 costs 54. Yeah, and that's like that. I think people like to compare them just because they're both dog-based meme coins, but to my understanding, the projects are attempting to do two different things. So, and that's why I have both. Matt, Tails, I co-host with you for 30 minutes. Heads, I super chat you again later today. Gorilla Champ. And we don't have to leave it up to luck. We could just have you co-host straight up. We don't have to leave it up to the gods of luck. Come in hand on Tesla daily. Someone's calling out Tesla. Actually, wait, what? Showing a bit of weakness. That was the one yesterday this happened in the afternoon, was the Tesla like 950 call for next week. I don't know. Some of these calls that come through, like they just scream to me that they're like, hey, we know something you don't. And that like is always a little bit funky. But Tesla, the daily chart, still looking strong. Look at this pattern of higher lows. I want to see that test of 1,200. How's Lucid doing? Lucid just coiling. This thing is coiling for a movement. Lucid. Rivian had a good morning, got smacked down by another $5. Nvidia coiling very similar to Lucid. Nvidia and Lucid look very similar right now. Both look strong to me, to reiterate. Hood hit an all-time low. Screw Hood. Bitcoin looking very strong. Looks like it wants to bend back around. Watch for that test of 60,000. I am obviously very bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin used to be my biggest crypto holding, but now with the percentage gain in Ethereum is my biggest. I think I'm double checking. Basically, it goes, why do I have to sign in? Just remember me. my code. Lordy. Look who's 40. Where's my secret code? What numbers do I need? All right. We're in the mainframe. Oh yeah. No, Ethereum is now my biggest holding. And I have it all staked, so I can't even touch it. I cannot touch it. So for a quick update for all of you, I have Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, aka Matic, Cardano, Bitcoin, SHIB, Loopring. On top of that, I have Hex, just so everyone knows. I have Hex, I have Doge, Litecoin, Algorand, VeChain. Oh, and I do have some of that Voyager stuff on my Voyager account, like the VGX thing. The one I'm particularly interested in getting right now, like my next purchase, I want it to be Avalanche. Yeah, Avalanche. I don't have it. I want it. It's going to be my next purchase. I just need money. I have so much money tied up in AMC and GME. I need money to come in so I can buy it. Take a look at Lazy Bunny NFT. Our community just purchased 3x1 land in Sandbox Metaverse over 150 ETH volume within a week of sellout. Floor is X2. Did you hear that Toys R Us is opening a store in New Jersey with a 2-story slide and ice cream shop? Is it still possible to buy stock to support them? I don't know if it is. You'll have to look into. I don't know where Toys R Us. Didn't someone buy them out, and then I guess you could buy the stock of the person who bought them out? I took a few 270 calls in CRM. I hope you crush it. That's probably what I should have done, if I'm being honest. Macy's bought it. Okay, and Macy's is actively traded. So I guess that would be your exposure to it. Thank you for that update. I knew someone bought it out. Someone is saying ADA. Is ADA moving? I hope ADA is moving. It's looking good, but ADA, I think, should be at like $3. So I'm a fan of the founder, creator, Charles Hoskinson. I like the project. It's another utility-based smart contract play, such as Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche. As you can tell, that's where I'm like very bullish, because these utility crypto projects, I think they're going to be so incredibly important for the future of culture, society across the entire globe. And that's why I'm bullish on all of them. Once again, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Algorand, I would say are probably like the top 5. Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Avalanche, and Algorand. I would probably say are the top 5 like well-known, highly used, utilized utility crypto projects. So with all that being said, I wouldn't actively trade any of them. I buy them on dips and I wait. I am more than mentally prepared to wait 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. These stories of people who make a bunch of money in crypto, yes, there are the insane people, or the insane stories of people who like YOLO'd SHIB when it was nothing and now have billions of dollars. But most of the people who generate immense wealth from it, they buy things when they're cheap and they sit for a considerable amount of time. They're not in and out in a week. They buy and they wait a year. They wait 2 years. They wait 3 years. At least from all the stories that I've read, that seems to be like the main way people are generating crypto wealth. All right, I would love for CRM to rip. Ethereum looking great. SPY, is it going to get a little... Okay, SPY coming back. Q's a little bit weaker. IWM holding though. That should bode well for AMC. GameStop hanging out at 196. That's a key level. We don't really want it to stray too far from here. We would rather base and push right above this. Honestly, the same for AMC. Both AMC and GME are at a key level. We want demand to be found. We don't want people to believe this silly, absurd rhetoric that buying is somehow bad. That is ridiculous. If you're looking for a stock to bounce, you need money to flow into it. That's how stocks go up, because the demand overwhelms the supply, and price is the equilibrium between supply and demand. So this rhetoric of taking away demand somehow being good, that doesn't make sense. I think Trey worded it very well. He brought up the point of, if people stop buying, that's equivalent to January when the buy button was taken away. And look at what happened in January when retail's buying ability was taken away. I think he put it very, very, like, that's a good explanation. Thoughts on metaverse projects like Sandbox and Mana. So Sandbox, actually, the first time I heard about it was like a week or two ago. And since then, more and more people have been asking me. So that one's a little bit newer on my radar, but Mana, M-A-N-A, I've known about it for a bit. I'm excited about it. Like, any of these, like, metaverse build outs, Decentraland build outs, like, maybe I'm wrong. Like, obviously that's always a possibility, but I'm particularly bullish on all of them. Pal, oh, is Pal speaking right now? Yeah, it is Wednesday at, I thought it was, is it 10:30? I thought on Wednesdays he normally spoke at Pal. Hang on, let me look up. Usually it's like 2:30. Capital One is ditching overdraft fees, giving up 150 million in revenue. Oh, yeah. Right now, 39 minutes ago, watch Powell and Yellen testify before the House COVID panel. So they are speaking, the House COVID panel. And yeah, the House COVID panel. Blah, 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 blah. Let me see if there's any important info. There's like a CNBC, ARK Invest, Kathy Wood shares her top investment ideas heading into 2022. Okay, so I guess she's speaking on CNBC. Yes, but Powell and Yellen are speaking right now with the House. They spoke with the Senate yesterday. Interesting. Well, let's hope that they don't say the same silly things they did yesterday that like really hit the market. They must be speaking a little bit more calmly today. A little bit more calmly. Republicans will support legalization to legalize marinara. I hope that they do. Matt sent the Apex to fellow Chiefs fan Seraphim with my Twitter handle. Okay, Irish, I appreciate that. I want to look into it because clearing brokers, which Apex is, I think that's a very important aspect of the story that I'm not seeing too many people touching on, and it's kind of a confusing middleman. So you have a lot of brokers, just for those of you who haven't heard what a clearing broker is, you have a lot of brokers that before they hit the economy of like the economy of scale or the economy of size, whatever that terminology is, before they're big enough, they can't act as their own clearing broker. So they go to a clearing broker such as Apex. That's a popular one. And then, so basically the broker that you trade on talks to the clearing broker, and then the clearing broker is the one that ends up talking to the DTCC. As you get bigger, you end up becoming your own clearing broker. So the broker talks directly to the DTCC. But when you're not that size, which there are many smaller brokers, Apex is the middleman to do all the clearing, and clearing is the step before like the processing of settlement. Clearing is the one that gets the broker that gets all the numbers and everything set up, and then you end up doing the settlement. Apex is a huge company. It's a well-known and it's a well-utilized company by many of these brokers. And I think it's important for us to dive into it, because when you're doing that setup, and I say you as in like the editorial you, when the brokers choose to go through Apex, it does, I guess for lack of a better term, throw a couple wrenches into the situation. So I think it would be good for us to have like a better understanding of when clearing brokers are used. What does that actually entail? What does it actually not entail? I see a lot of good information out there, and I see some information out there that's like maybe not being articulated as well as it should be. But I'm very curious to see what the thing is that you have, Irish, and we'll definitely include that in kind of a full-on video of clearing brokers. It's economy of scale. All right, appreciate that. Scale. What did I say? Scale of economy. Obviously, my Dayquil has not kicked in. I'm curious. How many of you think... someone just said, Fidelity, manual error? Are they kidding? How many of you... Yes, you think it was truly an error. Like, okay, sorry. We apologize. Humans make mistakes. Thumbs up for that, or yes for that. Thumbs down or a no for a no, you think something like nefarious happened and like we caught them doing something they shouldn't have been doing. I'm just curious about this sentiment. And I don't want my own opinion to like sway yours of, was it a legitimate mistake that like no harm, no foul? No, no, no. Hell to the no. No, no, no. Error. Down no. F no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh, we got one thumbs up. We got another yes. Oh, a couple more yeses coming in, but this is being dominated by no's. Dominated by no's. Huh. Matt, I'm losing my ass on prog. Can we upcoming support and resistance? That's why they call me Matt the Ass Saver. Upcoming support is 286, but also the psychological level at 3. But I want to remind you, to me, prog is not a short-term play. I think it's a well-positioned biotech company that I rarely mess around with. But from the DD that I've done on it, that I've really consumed on it through the Discord, and particularly True Demon, I think it's undervalued company, and I'm willing to sit on these shares until they're trading at a value that's probably considerably higher than this. But I don't know if you're losing on it because like you have call options. That's a different story. You could definitely be feeling some pain because of that if like they're expiring. But if you have stock, I think for me, I'm comfortably sitting on it, just waiting for like its value to be hit. Starting my own crypto for the people, peasant coin. How much for Kohrs Light? Will that be 69 peasants, please? What's going on, Gorilla Champ? I keep having to resubscribe to your channel. Been around since the early days with you in my head all day. Anyway, can you check ARDX? Yeah, so it seems like this has been happening in cycles. ARDX is actually looking pretty good. As you zoom out, it doesn't look good. But recently, I wonder what's going on. If it gets going, yeah, like you have the potential of this gap fill, but I'm curious about like why it got hit so hard and like why it's recovering now. So this one, a biotech, dive into it, try to figure out what's going on with it. But yes, I've just yesterday, I got like 18 different messages of people saying they were unsubscribed. So if you want to be subscribed to me, if you want to be a member of the Moon Gang, check out, make sure that the button was actually like hit, because yes, many people have been unsubscribed. And funny enough, I was talking with Trey about it, and same thing with him. So if you want to be subscribed to Trey, double check that over there as well. Both of us have been noticing like an influx of messages saying I was unsubscribed. And what's funny is I've previously reached out to YouTube about this, and they're like, no, we don't unsubscribe people. But I'm like, why are so many people telling me that they were just unsubscribed then? YouTube almost kind of gaslights you on it, but maybe another good reason to make sure like just a fail safe over there would be on Twitch. Twitch is Matt_Kohrs, and then also on Rumble, which Rumble, I guess, is not working again today. Why? Your outdoor adventures. Thank you. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I was also unsubscribed. I was unsubscribed. I just, it's so frustrating because YouTube's like, nope, we do not do that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, Pal and Yellen, what are you saying? Pal and Yellen. Someone said Charles Payne tweet. What do we have? I see a couple retweets. And then also talking about the overall market. Yeah, I'm not seeing any new tweets from him. All right, please stop. What are they saying? They have to be doing something silly. Do you think squeeze can still be in play for AMC? I do, wholeheartedly. I think there's clear potential of it. Can I guarantee it? Can I sit here and say, yes, it's going to squeeze? No, but no one can say anything's guaranteed about the market at all. But I have a considerable amount of money, at least considerable to me, spread between AMC and GME, and I'm sitting on it. I am long on both. And I would not be in it if I didn't believe in the potential of the stock and really what the community is doing and what the community represents. Are you not streaming 8 hours anymore? I love listening to you while I was working. I'm not. Now I have 2 different shows because I need that midday session. I found that like I was kind of falling behind on my own research. And I was missing things that were happening during the midday. So in that midday kind of doldrums, I now use that time to research and think of the things that I can like present to you in the afternoon stream. So basically I get up early, I figure out what's going on in the world, I present that to you, we watch the markets, we talk about trades, then I figure out what's going on in the world again in the midday, and then I try to do like a technical teaching session, whether it's RSI, MACD, Wyckoff, and with that, now that I'm getting more comfortable in that, I asked the audience yesterday, what do you guys think about like a mini crypto show, like a 30-minute specific crypto show? And there seemed to be a lot of enthusiasm for that. So I'm thinking about adding in a third show. I don't know if I want to do it midday or in the evening, but just so all of you know, that is in the works. Like I want like a mini crypto specific show, similar, like, because right now I feel like I'm bringing in, I'm like, oh, crypto's doing this, and this, and that's fine. But I think there's a lot of growing interest in crypto that I would love to give you updates of. This is what you need to know about the world of crypto. Here's what all the different cryptos are. Like we could get into the technical specifics of Ethereum, Avalanche, Bitcoin, just giving more of a specific time for crypto. So that should be coming in the near future. I'm just a busy guy. I need my daily dose of Kohrs and my alerts weren't coming up. Thought you were disappeared Clinton style. Subbed again. Yeah, I don't. So many people are saying they're unsubscribed and YouTube's like, we don't do that. Matt, FYI, Apex confirmed this to me, bought some crypto on public. Apex cleared it and transferred it to Apex Crypto. Crypto on public is Apex. Okay, that I appreciate that. I myself, I'm a little hesitant to get crypto on things such as any of these free brokerages. I like to use like actual crypto brokerages and exchanges. But okay, so it's on Apex Crypto. Thank you for that update, Mike. I turned off lending on Webull with the rest of GME community in April. Then I got a message from Apex directly saying they can still lend the shares out unless I put it in writing to them as well. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. You should start a new channel for it. Thick crypto with the thickness, and everyone else is done in a muscle shirt and bro shades. Just a complete like alter ego, like the crypto Kohrs, thick crypto Kohrs. Yeah, I guess that's not something I thought about, of like if I should spin off a whole nother channel for it or if I should just do it on this channel. I guess I just assumed I would do it on this channel, but maybe I should put it on a different channel. I don't know. There's already 2 channels, like between the Rumble, Twitch, Matt Kohrs, and Kohrs Light. Like it feels like that's a lot to manage. I don't know. Get down with the thickness. Thick on crypto, Kohrs with a C. Down with the thickness. Thick coins. What's the best company to buy to be paid in dividends? I'm a big fan of Microsoft because it's a amazing growth company, but it also has a decent dividend. Not the best dividend, but it has a dividend. So between the growth of the company and the dividend payment, I'm a big fan of Microsoft. I find it crazy that we can't trade options in the UK. What a load of duck crap. Chris, I think if you have the right brokerage, is anyone from the UK listening right now that act like, I think if you're on Interactive Brokers, you can, Chris. Like if you're using that international version, you should be all good. Kroger, someone says Kroger has a good dividend. Whatever decision you make, most of us will follow. Been watching you for half a year and you did an outstanding job. I would probably like at least kick it off on this channel just to see how it goes. Cause like, I think it's good to have that separation because there's people who like want to learn about crypto. And then there's other people who are like, no, like I'm here just for stock. So I'm trying to like, and then there's some people who want crypto and not stock. So I think if I have like that different type of content, the people who want both can watch both. The people who only want one can watch the one that they want, opposed to the people who, for example, in the afternoon stream, if they're just there for power hour and I'm talking about crypto, they'll be like, well, I wasn't here for that. So in a way, I don't know, trying to make it so people like only have to spend the time watching like what they want to watch. What else are we at? Someone said Kyle is a bot. I can buy calls and puts on Trading 212. They don't have an options menu. Trading 212, I guess, is good in the UK and also has options. Yeezus asking about Lucid. You're looking for the breakout of 56 basically, and it's currently trading at 55.12, so a little bit to go. All right, we're seeing a little bit of bounce in IWM, AMC. Sorry, we'll go back to, is the SPY bouncing? Yeah, the SPY is actually looking pretty solid right now. And the Qs are coming back. Okay, so we're seeing the Russells got hit the most, but they're all the indices are fighting back. What do y'all think about TRYP, travel ETF with companies like Carnival Cruise and Moon gap down on the unicorn news? TRYP. It's oversold, but maybe want to wait a little bit and see if there's like bearish divergence. I'd let it be a bit more patient. I like where you're at, and it just started trading. Also a super small range. Even if you get it right or wrong, it seems like it's a small play. Like ever since November 8th, it's managed to move $1. Thoughts on forward? Can you pull up Ortex? Yeah, but I don't think this is a shorted stock. What is the short interest on Ford? Ford has a short interest of 2%. I think Ford is just like a straight up like EV automaker play that looks solid. I don't think this is like a short squeeze play at all. Be careful with a little bit of this bearish divergence, but if it breaks, you want it to take the RSI with it, so there is no bearish divergence. Thoughts on QuantumScape? So this is another EV play, batteries. ever since it did in December of last year to January, got really hit off, like hit down, and it never really took back off. So I like it. I think it will be successful, but I guess I think there's other more promising EV opportunities. Options is highly regulated in the UK as it's viewed as gambling, but you can trade on IB and IG. IG is expensive and you have to do it over the phone. Interesting. AMC looking spicy. AMC fighting back, kind of refusing to give up that 34 level. Ever since we started talking about Salesforce, it just has not moved. So I guess we're just going to be awkwardly waiting on that one. What else do we have? What other opportunities are coming through? Don't know that one. Don't know that one. Buy side monthly. What is XLK? XLK. So a 129. Oh, but that was on the bid side of that put. XLK? This doesn't make sense. That was weird. KRE. Bearish ask side, a 66. A regional banking ETF. A 66 for December 31st. 66. I don't really know much about what's going on in banking, but kind of a weird looking chart. Doesn't seem to be having too much momentum. What else do we have? So we got some AMD puts. Oh, but that's for June. And that was a bit ago. So nothing. I mean, the most interesting one, at least in my humble opinion thus far, has still been Salesforce. Salesforce. Unfortunately, ever since this movement, it's been perfectly sideways trading. But at least the Qs are getting going, IWM is getting going, and the SPY is getting going. So hopefully some market enthusiasm gets some equities also popping. In 20 years, what do you think people will be nostalgic for? In 20 years, what will people be nostalgic for? Cars that you have to drive yourself. That'd be funny. I remember the days when I had to drive my own car. What do you think about Saitama? A lot of people have been talking about it, so I don't own any, and I haven't really done like a hardcore DD into the project, but anecdotally, it's getting a lot of attention. Like every single day, someone asks me about it. So if you're looking for like social sentiment, tons of people are asking about it. All right, what am I looking at? Here's what I'm looking at. Oh golly. I'm trying to see if there's any breaking news for us to go over before we wrap up. Thoughts on Ford? So we just looked at Ford's chart, and I thought it looked strong, very strong. I think it's about to be testing an all-time high. Maybe it'll get that break and run. I think it's kind of tracking with Twitter and Lucid. It's ever since it made that movement over into EV as a company and as a stock, it's doing considerably better. Someone said AMC news. What kind of news? Let me see. News. AMC. What's the news? News. I'm not seeing anything. Hang on, let me go to Adam Aaron's. Adam Aaron. Yeah, I'm not. Am I missing something, folks? Spider-Man. Benzinga. I'm not seeing anything there. This is all relating to the overall market. Watching AMC shares follow tweet from Global Chair. That was was short. We covered yesterday and are no longer short. Through a subsidiary, AULT Global Holdings DWP was short 2,000 shares of AMC. We covered yesterday, and we are no longer short. Okay. 2,000 is not, like, that's not a big position. New securities lawsuit filed against Hood last night. One of the lawsuit is Rule 10b-5 of security law, which is to employ any device scheme or to defraud. What else do we have going on? Crypto still popping. Hey, CRM working. It's doing something. Yeah, we covered the Fidelity thing. We'll clip that on Kohrs Light, and we'll get the whole Fidelity storyline out there. Bryson, shout out. What else? Thoughts on AGC merging with to grab tomorrow? A lot of those times it's a lot of excitement and volatility, so I tend to like avoid that unless I am like really in the know of like what's going on, and I haven't been tracking the AGC merging with grab thing. I would just say, remember before, like a lot of excitement, and sometimes that excitement can't be sustained. SDIG is up over 20%. I mean, that's cool, but that doesn't mean I'm going to chase it then. Oh, and it just started trading. Oh, it's in a mining company. When it comes to mining, I'd prefer just to play crypto directly. I don't see there any advantage in playing Riot, Mara, those types of things when you could just get direct exposure to crypto. It's just because with crypto, when you're betting on mining, you're betting on the increase in crypto. But on top of that, you have to consider the inter-business competition between Riot, Mara, Hut, all of these. So it gets a little bit tough, and I prefer just to buy crypto and sit on crypto because I think that's where like the serious money is. What else do we have? What else do we have going on? All right, well, the Salesforce thing is looking solid. So with Salesforce, this is my own opinion, and maybe you look at it differently. I find these plays, and we're just kind of starting this methodology, but I mean, for a play that's just dropped into your like lap like that, not a bad idea to take. I mean, even right now, CRM, the one I got in, it's already up 19%. I always fantasize about that. I'm like, wow, if I bet 100 grand, I would have been up 19 grand already, which is not a good way to think about it. But it's already up 20%. That's a crazy good trade. If you want to like ride it, like it's tough because this one expires in 2 days. So like I would be a little bit more willing to get out early. If I had a longer day, I might be like, okay, I'll scale out now. Maybe I'll like ride the gap up. But like if you were paying attention in Power Hour yesterday, we did that lift play. And that one, I was like, I would have made more money if I held for it. But like at a certain point, like this money is just getting like dropped into your lap. That's an easy trade, like right there. I don't know. Some of the time with it, maybe just ride the trend. But it seems if it's like going to get rejected at 270, like if it seems like it's going to struggle here, just lock it in. At that point, you'd be up 50% on the trade if you ended up taking it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, Coin Bureau did something on crypto stocks. I like that. I like Coin Bureau. I'm a fan of them. I bought those 950 Tesla puts on Friday. I trust the whale, but I'm currently down. Think they'll split. Also, I need this $5 back. Ryan, I don't know. When that happened, I avoided it. Like I saw that come through and I thought it was like a little bit weird, but I think Tesla, I see strength in Tesla. So it's hard for me to like kind of understand why they took that put position. Of course, maybe they know something we don't. I also don't know the expiration date on it. If they split though, if they announce a split, look for bullish action. For you buying those puts, the split announcement would not be a good announcement. AMC bouncing back, SPY bouncing back. Let's see if Salesforce can hold above 267.50. That would be nice. And we'll watch 270. GameStop in kind of a bull flag coming down. Let's see if we can break this top trend line, kind of two parallel lines in this channel. All right, folks, that is it for the morning stream for today, the first day of December, Wednesday, December 1st. I will be back for Power Hour. Please remember, I will not be streaming tomorrow. I have to do an interview in New York. I have to go up there. This is not a live interview. It's going to be recorded, and then when I have the details of when it will be posted, I'll let you know. But just so you know, I don't know what's going on today, but I know I'm not streaming tomorrow. I will be back streaming on Friday, though, just so everyone knows. So streaming today, the Power Hour, we'll do the update video. No streaming tomorrow, and then back to the normal schedule on Friday, just to keep everyone on the same page. I'll catch you for Power Hour today, and if you guys are in the Discord, I'll also be there in a little bit. Just need to take care of some work. But as always, from me and Cher, best of luck in the markets, and I truly appreciate all the support. I'll be catching you soon.